Just a second, I'm about to get started. All right, let's make it do what it do. Restart chat. All right, good evening, everybody. Just make it do what it do. So, I just realized that one of my functions was completely backwards, so this is going to be, actually I think I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to try something else with that. So this is user owned items. It's a list of all of them. I don't think that's, oh, it does work still, which is really weird. User owned items. And something else I'm going to try is get item defs. I'm going to try calling this all items array. So the problem now is it's not properly verifying with Steam that of what items you own. And the store only shows unowned items for obvious reasons, because you don't want to buy stuff you already own. So first it wasn't loading the items. Then the functions were backwards, and one of the functions wasn't loaded, and I had the wrong information piped in. So this should fix a whole bunch of problems. And then I got to fix another issue with loadouts, and whatever comes in from my team. There's some heavy hit reaction stuff I'd like to get in. I might do that after this store stuff, because I really spent a little more time on this than I wanted to. But anyway, happy Tuesday night, everybody. Welcome to the stream, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, everybody. I'm Matt Kanai. I'm the lead developer on Hanukkah, Wanner, and Blade. I've been a AAA game developer for 10 years and an indie developer for 12. I've used Unreal Engine for my whole career, and I'm super excited to answer any questions, advice about the industry, anything else. Just ask away at any time, and active chat makes for a much more enjoyable stream for me. And we are getting ready for our weekly event. That takes place every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on Discord. It's developer team versus just whoever shows up, and we have a great time. Try out new stuff. Tuesday nights usually are myself and the rest of the dev team getting stuff together for the test. We almost always have a new patch. If everything goes well, the patch becomes the live game, and that's how we do things. It's a lot of fun. It's important that you guys understand, we're not just like another early access game that doesn't get updated. We try to update every week. So just to test, I'm going to break, and I think, yep. I actually think that I can do... This doesn't even have a failure node, so I think I can just pipe this straight. This is all items, and there's not a failure condition, and I'm just going to copy these into here. And these, I don't need to set a variable, I really just need those are owned, and then get item defs. All items. If this all works, then I should be good. I'm going to go ahead and fix the functions. Think that this... Okay, so I need to fix this. In here, this needs to be... I'm just going to give it a name. It's going to be owned items array. All items array. This is probably going to cause some compile problems. Maybe not. Refresh. User owned items. User owned items. All items. Okay. So inside here, this is going to be, this function can actually go away. What I'm going to do is just copy this guy. Wait a second. This is get own store, get all store. It's confusing because the function is like named backwards. Nope, it's wrong now. This is get owned store items. And this is get all store items. So get all store items, those should both get owned. Get all store items. Okay. I don't think I need this delay anymore. So yeah, how are you guys doing tonight? Nope, did my session expire? Source control, what you doing? There we go. Okay, back to here. These are that's wrong, and that's wrong. So update all items should be here. This doesn't matter. Update owned items is this one. Owned items, that's right. I don't know if this is the right node. If not, I don't necessarily have to have this. So all items, this should be... It really shouldn't even have to ever do this, but just in case. This is very confusingly named get all items async when it's get all items that you own, not all of the items that are possible. That was where the confusion came in. So let me make sure that this is all right. All items, it's comparing, it's looping through all items and own, and it's creating a new array based on where there's not matches. So you can see what you don't own compared to the final list. A simple outer loop, inner loop. So let's see. I think this is all how I need it now. I do need to test this function, which I do have in a few different places to test if I need to. Let's go ahead and do a launch, and in the meantime we'll talk about the game a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and hit launch. It's going to do essentially a compile and packaging of the game, but there's some cool stuff about it that I want to show once this is done. This is going to take a second, so let's watch a Hanako video really quick. This was a trailer for our most recent patch that we released back in April. Well, really we patch every week, but this was like a mega patch. Like we added a new map, we added victory cinematics, redid a bunch of animations, we did a lot of stuff. And this is also an amazing time to ask questions or advice or whatever. Ask away, don't be shy, chat. Well, I'll ask a question for you. What is this game? I've never seen it before. It's called Hanako Honor and Blade. It's a class-based multiplayer game set in feudal Japan, 12 versus 12 battles. There's 4 classes, there's skill trees, abilities, directional based combat, 4 different game modes, and it's really fast compared to other Melee games. So that is a quick look at Hanako. Our YouTube channel has, we stream our playtests every Wednesday, so if you want to see what that's all about, you can hop in the Discord or watch that video. It's about an hour and a half of playtesting. So this is going to take a second. What I really like about Launch, I've never actually used it before until last night because I never had to. Steam is a fickle beast in Unreal 4. So using Play and standalone game doesn't work too well because Steam doesn't initialize always. So I was doing builds and it still wasn't working. And then I looked online that people were debugging using Launch, and I tried it, it works. So I'm gonna see what happens here. Which means that we get to watch. Ooh, this actually finished pretty quick. I hope these are getting faster because the last few that I did took quite a while. We did watch a video and I rambled for a second and introduced you all to my nighttime passion project. Myself and the dev team have worked on this game for a long time, and it's a really personal project. It's something I still, even 10 years in, really love working on. I think we should be finishing up pretty soon. But in the meantime, we fix a few things at a time. Alright, so this should be popping up here shortly. Waiting on the progress bars. There we go. So first thing we're looking for, top left, there should be a bunch of text that prints out some items. If that happens, there should be some labeled owned and some labeled all. If that works, then I think I fixed the thing. And this was a huge pain in the butt that took most of last night and so far tonight. So it'd be great to get this fixed so I can move on to the next part that's more gameplay oriented. That would be much preferred. Ooh, I see both. Okay, so what do we got here? All items is showing. It worked. So I purposely haven't bought the golden Kusarigama. We only have 4 items right now, and they're mostly for testing, but you technically can buy them. But they're like a quarter. They're cheap. I purposely did not buy the Kusarigama, and it's not in the list. So when I go to store, there should be, there's things here now, which that's progress. So 1004 is not owned. That really should be the only thing that shows up in this list. Click purchase, open Steam, and that's how our point of purchase works. I'm not going to buy it because so let me go to loadouts and see how that's working. Oh, it did a whole lot of stuff. Oh, it's still doing a whole lot of stuff. So under weapons, it should have put 1004 item state none, item state none, item state none. So there's something wrong with that condition. I think it's so it has own, equipped. 1004 is none, which is an item I don't own, but 1003 should be owned. 1001 should be owned. It really doesn't need to print this as much as it is. It registered okay there. So why for these is it getting to none? None. It's the default helmet. Okay, so items that you own aren't showing up in here now. They used to, they don't now. Item store, all the items are showing up instead of ones that aren't owned. So we're a step closer. If I do CE get owned store, that works. CE get all store, that works. Okay, getting closer. So in here, let's try to get the store. The store should be a little bit easier. Check unowned by item ID. Oh yeah, I already simplified this. So it gets the item ID. Let's see. Let's see if the length is... Oh, you know what I should do? When this is complete, first I need to see if this function's failing or not, because this might just be missing. Really, it doesn't have to build an array of this. It could just do a comparison to this is probably better still long term. So I'm gonna do a print string, which is like debug text. I'm gonna do print or append, which is basically like a combo string. Plug that in. This is gonna be unowned item. Item ID is going to be there, item name, space, and I want item name. And that should work now. So what's the condition here? So if, ooh, duh, I'm dumb. That's why it didn't work. I had the wrong thing plugged in. This should definitely work now. Okay, let me give a go at the other one. So populate item type by list. This gets called a whole bunch of times, which is, it's really kind of strange how much this gets called. It's even, I think it's in the output log getting called a whole crap load of times too. Just gonna do a global search that shows me where this is all getting called. Populates, okay, so there's multiple ones are calling it. Post equip, which should be calling it. Okay, that's armor helmet. Check item state owned. The fact that it's returning none, there's something wrong with my find item state function. it really should just be, I'm gonna try something here. I'm just gonna take this out and just let it do, because it's looking here, it's looking for owned or equipped, because I'm piping in item state. I'm gonna do owned by default. The only problem is that it's still churning out none for the items that you're supposed to own. So this pipes in the item def ID. It's getting your loadout, which is that's looking for you're equipped. So if this all passes, what's returning none now? Owned item success. I honestly think that I should just I think this could probably get owned item success. Because this is getting loaded here. And what did I do something at the beginning of this? Owned item success. I'm just gonna bypass this for a second. And then verify item ownership. There's the current item. That's input. Owned items array. And that item ID, true, owned. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it simple like that. I think this should get rid of, I think I was doing too many checks. I don't think it really should return that. I think I was artificially blocking the ability for it to show up as owned. However, before I ran into a case where the golden Kusari Gamma did show up as like an equipable item. So we'll see. But anyway, let's go ahead and launch. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to get prepared for the next part. So chat, let me know if you have any questions. Let's see what the dealio. So the next thing I'm going to move on to is getting heavy hit reaction set up. We have regular hit reactions, but I want to see we're doing more impactful ones for variation, so I'm going to experiment with that. Let's see if anything else came in that needs testing. Nope, not yet. Fingers crossed that this is the attempt that was needed to fix all these problems. It's kind of interesting though. Steam is like, all right, we're just going to give you a list of the items and a list of the items you own. You figure out the rest. Good luck. All right, this should be opening up here shortly. Most outside of Steam, testing is way faster than this. Steam is kind of an off case for some reason. All right. Almost there. Come on, Unreal, you can do it. No, who knows how long this has been open. Okay. What do I got here? Owned, 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 not owned. Owned, 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 not owned. So why is it still... Why is it still showing items that I do own? Because this is perfectly correct. All right, let's see if the loadout thing works then. What do I got? Owned, owned, not owned. There we go. Nice. Now I just need to check Ninja does not have the weapon. Sweet. So the loadout part looks fixed. Yep. Awesome. So what all I need to fix now is in populate item list by type, populate store by category, unowned. So hold on a second. It was throwing these. I think I need to use find item state still, and it was still working. So I think I might just do this and just have it do unowned. Because it works in here, so I'm gonna use what works for now. So I'm going to get rid of that. Find item state. Add some reroute nodes so you can see what's going on. And then I'm going to do if item state equals not owned. And that's true, then make the thing. So it should only be not owned items. And there's something I want to do. I really hate the lighting in this map, so I'm gonna just replace it with real quick. So I'm gonna grab, oh, it's menu garden. So let's take this lighting setup. Post-process volume, I need the sky. I need the lights, and I want the skylight. Copy that. Why is this taking so long? Sometimes Unreal really likes to think. Okay. Oh, it's gonna copy my that's weird, I wasn't even running the thing. Oh, that's unfortunate because I have to do the same thing again. Well, at least I didn't lose any work really. Here's a fun fact about Unreal 4. If you copy objects from or nodes in a material or a blueprint, um, it will put it in text that you can put in Notepad, and you can use that to back up like your level assets in a way, or a set of nodes, or exchange them with someone. So if you copy stuff and you're scared it's going to crash, you can paste it in Notepad, open the map. If it crashes, you can just go in Notepad, copy it again, and it'll put all the nodes straight into the map, or straight into the level. Or if you copied nodes, it'll copy it back into Blueprint, or it works for materials too. Very convenient. So I need to open the map I had opened before. So post-process volume, skybox, main light, skylight. Did I get the sky? Yep. There we go. Do want the sun like ooh, no, that's not where I want this. Ooh, that looks good. All right. So if you click save before apply, it waits for shader compiles to finish before it actually like does the thing. So it's kind of annoying. You feel like your engine froze, but it doesn't. Just be patient. It'll come back. So I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild this really quick. Ooh. I did not know that there's... Wait, how are there multiple skylights? There's definitely not. Oh, I know what it's talking about now. Why does this look so weird? Does... No, just have a vignette over the whole thing. There we go, that's what I wanted. I need to turn that down just a little bit. Wow, that's crazy. I'm not even... Yeah, I like that better for now. I didn't like the nighttime one, really. Okay, so now I need to do one more of these. Oh, right. It is. I got a lot of stuff going on. How's it going? And now I think this should be the last time I have to do one of these before I can move on to stuff that's way faster to test and thus more interesting to watch on a stream. I do have a lot of windows. I should probably close some of them. Thanks a lot. While this is going on, let's look at... So the game basically has two kind of looks to it in a sense. There's the Hanako clan, which is the game's namesake clan. They're kind of symbolic of lost loved ones that myself and the dev team have lost over the course of development. And the other side is the Yamai clan. They kind of represent disease and death, things that have taken loved ones from us, and we introduced their home village as our newest map back in April. And I'll play that video again. This was kind of our like patch video. And if you're just joining us on stream, that's this is our game, actual gameplay and trailer stuff. Since you're seeing kind of under the hood, this is kind of the whole car in a sense. And if you're just joining stream, I'll make an announcement while we're watching that every Wednesday night, which is tomorrow, or actually today if you're on the East Coast, at 10 p.m. Eastern, we do a playtest, developers versus the community, on our Discord and on our US mid server. We always, whatever we're working on stream and the other developers usually ends up in a test patch. We always test out new stuff, rule changes, game design changes, we get feedback, and that's a very quick introduction to our game. Let's see. It is an indie project, and I am leading development on it. And game development is watching a lot of progress bars and lists of debug or like build outputs of, hey, here's how close your build is to being done. And let's do a little project management real quick. This is all the stuff we're trying to get done for this week. What was I doing? Item store gets confused, blah, blah, blah. Dunzo. And then Dunzo. So I'm going to move into hooking up heavy hit reactions if I can, and just once I test this stuff out really quick. Oh my god, yeah, I get really spoiled at work. We have a program that like distributes code builds like to everyone's computer, and Unreal shaders are capable of being distributed. So there's like 60 computers that are helping you build shaders. So it's, like 30,000 Unreal shaders will take like, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds, whereas like it takes that long for like 100. And I have a really good 16 thread machine, but it ain't good enough. All right, it's getting close. It's in staging phase. I mean, this is essentially a full build of the game. I think it's just the map that you have open, so it's actually not that bad. Tip number 1 for indie development: lots of tea, lots of water. Especially if you're working late at night, it's really easy to get dehydrated and feel crappy the next day. So if this worked, when I go to the item store, there should be only a golden Kusarigama in that list and not the 3 other gold weapons. And the loadout screen should display a gold weapon for all classes but the ninja. That works too. During the day, I always get a dirty chai at the local coffee place, and then mid-afternoon, AHA makes like a green tea lime like combo flavor that has a little bit of caffeine, and it's great. Item store. Yes! Victory! This has been broken for weeks, and now it is not. Alright, so I purposely haven't bought this item. And then in Loadout, let's see, he's facing the wrong way, but that's a different thing. I'll worry about that later. Golden Katana, I go to Ninja, should just be default. Go to Kenshi, equip. He has the gold sword back at the main screen. And that's done. Ship it. On to the next thing. It said reflection captures need rebuilt. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is close out really quick. We'll stare at a texture that I repainted in Substance the other day. So like half of our characters didn't have PBR materials yet, so I put them in Substance and fixed that up. So I need to get a code build because one of my other devs submitted a bunch of stuff. It looks like I need to do a code build, so let's have some fun with that. We get to watch more progress bars. I know it's a joy for all involved. So I'm gonna let me get the solution file open. And good old code building. So let me see if Incredibuild is connected. Because it even though I'm only on one machine, it really helped. Yep, there we go. Enabled. And let's do this. So I'll also mention, this is along the same lines as our events. There's two things that I've been doing right now. One of them is, oh, they definitely have normal maps. Two things I'll mention. One, for people that join in our playtests on Wednesdays, first-time participants, I will give a key to the game for free to give to their friends because multiplayer games are better with friends, and you may want to chop off your friend's head in-game. Or join your friend in trying to chop off mine in-game. Either one is totally valid and encouraged. And also, I think the game's still on sale for $350 right now. So if you got $350 laying around, we would appreciate you or anyone else joining our community. We're trying to really get our tests to where they're full servers every time we test. It makes us, or rather puts us in a better position to see how our game actually plays. Because my dev team's 6 guys and we can't really test by ourselves to make sure, hey, we're making a game for 12v12. Is it actually, do the map sizes work? Do the mechanics work? Are capture points big enough? Or are the ritual sites big enough? That, you know, that kind of thing. Well, while this is building, let's go ahead. Let me just open up that character and let's take a look real quick. To recap, look at some art. While the computer thinks real hard about stuff. Move this off screen. So yeah, this has the normal map built in. I don't even know if I have a screenshot of how he used to look. It wasn't very good. Actually, I think I can show how he, nope, that's the wrong one, my bad. Does it really not let you hide selected layers? I should just remove these. He used to look more or less like this. I don't even think he really had roughness values that were any good. He definitely did not have. He was actually more or less like this. I think his gold kind of worked. It was like an old specular method. So this was quite fun to do. We have kind of like a stylized comic lines here and there, but try to get the shaders leveled up a little bit. You know, this character is like 4 or 5 years old, so you know, he needed some love. Our dev team, you know, people come and go on indie projects when you can't pay them, so I'd say on average we've hovered around 7. But we've been as big as 16 before. That wasn't for very long, but we were for a small period of time. But we're usually, yes, 7 or 7-ish. You know, there's a few developers that kind of come by when they're needed, like, hey, we're doing a new map, level design guy, give me a block out. And then there's other more permanent members, audio, animation, programming, and myself are kind of the mainstays on dev. And then one of our co-founders helps with design and UX design and like project management. So this guy turned out pretty cool. Let's take a look at the other dude. Yeah, we're actually trying to give them this like stony, sickly skin since they're kind of a metaphor for cancer. But I think I just made them like way too blue. Ooh, that's not the right one. That was fine. Might as well do something while I wait on a compile. This is taking forever. Let me try something. See if Incredibuild speeds it up. It's this one. It's still very blue. There we go. That's a little bit closer. His head, I think, is actually a little bit too much now. Okay, I think that works. I'm actually going to just re-export this. So I can just re-import the ooh, no, the names are wrong. Oops. So code build is kind of being an a-hole. There we go, now it's churning. Groundbird, how's it going? Welcome. Pretty good. Waiting on a code compile and while to test some new stuff and about to move on to hooking up some new hit reactions. That's crazy. He looks so gray in here, and in game he's like crazy. He's crazy blue in game, unless I updated this and like forgot to import. Does this have a cached? Oh, thank God, it still has a cached project. So the Nightbot is gonna post some, or just posted some important introductory info to the actual game. Just take a peek at your own leisure. Maybe when nothing's going on stream too much. This can't be the one that's in game right now. However, there are a lot of resources out there to level up more than any one person could ever do, but I didn't make this character originally, but I have done a lot of texturing stuff with our characters. So what the heck? So wait, is there a magic wand tool in here? No. Projection, smudge clone, material picker. So I really should be able to can I copy content and go to height and like paste content and then oops, add levels. Height, can I do this? Ooh, yes, it worked. get that in the normal map a little bit look nasty. I do. Since my normal job, I am a tech artist, and a lot of my work has to do with performance. What are you trying to learn about it, or I guess what snags are you running into? So this code compile's almost done, which is great. Uh, yeah, this dude's looks so much better than the other one. His underlying skin. Well, you're using Unreal 4, I assume? Pass on variables to the next loaded level. There's a bunch of ways that you could do that. What I would personally do in a simple sense is, so Unreal has the idea of a persistent level. Those are things that's your level that holds like persistent content that needs to be there regardless of what swaps around. I would recommend probably creating variables in there because then you can access them. That's kind of tough. Variables don't pass between levels very nicely. They kind of have their own. I need to think about that for a second. Is the end round widget like part of your HUD, or is it like added in the level blueprint? If it's not in the HUD, it probably should be in the HUD. Generally, what you do is game mode information like that lives in the game state, and you can grab a reference to your game state in your HUD and then grab variables out of the game state and update it in your widget. Really level streaming shouldn't have too much to do with that. Like the timing of a match or a round should generally live in your game mode or game state class. I can show a quick example of that when this code compile's done, and I can open the editor again. It's thinking. It's thinking real hard on this code build. Level streaming. I would say that your pawn should be in the persistent level and then you would have like kind of like the default starting level. It has assets that's like its own thing, its own sub level, and then when it heat transitions or the pawn transitions to a new level, the information's still going to be there. Another thing you can do. Sweet. Editor build is done. I would look into like no, you don't. All the variables could live in the persistent level. Though I would look into making like game mode and game state blueprint classes. Here's a fun fact: that splash screen is like almost 13 years old. One of our original developers, when it was a college project, made that, and we still use it. But if you're doing kind of a simple concept, just trying to kind of get your feet wet, like this is just our main menu level. But all of my art is in this menu garden, and it's blueprint loaded because I swapped depending on what screen you're on between that and this like character viewer level that has like a little like paper doll guy in it. If you're trying to do like round time in a UI widget, I would do that. Like for example, I'll show this really quickly and I'm going to move on because I don't have a ton of time to get done what I want to tonight. But I do want to help. So this is like our total HUD widget, and this particular piece is like a game. It has a timer widget in it, and let me see what if I'm doing anything with this. Oh no, the timer has the functionality built in. Okay. WB timer. So I have another sub widget that it's literally just text. It's just a text box. But in here, yep, see I'm getting game state. I cast to my custom game state class, and then from here I could be like get time. Like I have get game time that's part of the game state, and then I can do like yeah, here we go right here. On tick, I'm getting game time from my game state class that I stored when the widget was created. And then I'm literally just setting the text to game time. I have a custom function that turns it into like 0:seconds. So I built like a custom formatter. But in general, like this is the way flow would go in a simple sense. I don't recommend doing things on tick, but time is a thing that you can update on tick. You could like put a delay node for every second, since you don't need to update it every frame, just every second instead. You know, this is built in. We had a lot of late nights in college working on the game. Our college at the time was 24/7, so we literally just stayed at school together working on this till like 6 a.m. every day for like 2 years. In the blog post, there's actually some pictures. I'll make Nightbot post it again. That Imager story link, there's some screenshots of like our college build. It's really bad, but so yeah, and also in your world settings, you can set a HUD class that like creates a widget in it. So I would look into creating like custom blueprint HUDs and creating like custom data in your game state class. My game state class was all written in code, and I'm not a programmer on this project, so they just expose like those blueprint nodes for me, like the get game time and stuff. But that is an example of how to do it. If you don't want to go that deep, put your pawn in persistent level, and you can put all your variables that are relevant to the pawn in there, and then your art can basically be in like other sublevels that swap out that don't really need to know about any of those variables. So I'm going to open my gray box map, and also I need to submit some of my work. Okay. Oh, of course. So the way Unreal's flow works for HUDs is every game mode has like a default pawn, a HUD class, a player controller class, a game state, etc. Because each game mode could have specific properties that like generic ones don't have. HUD classes are data stores for the HUD. You can kind of write exchanges of data in here. For example, when the HUD gets initialized, I'm storing a bunch of stuff, and I don't want to go into delegates tonight, but basically what I'm doing is I'm setting up the structure to create an actual UMG widget, which is the HUD class that I had opened. So it's creating one and adding it to the viewport. But since it's setting a reference, I use this main widget to do, and I store all my data here, and then it tells the main widget, which is the actual UMG object, to update whatever needs updating. So I have a bunch of stuff in here that's like, hey, on skill up, I need post an alert to the HUD. You know, there's like death notification and chat and a bunch of other things in here. It gets a little complicated, and I didn't make all of this, but you can set your kind of HUD class here and have that create your actual widget. And that's more on the like player controller level than the pawn level. Because the way it goes is, yeah. So what I need to test really quick is so I need to add two dudes, and this one can be Hanako. And then on my other screen, I'm going to do a Yamai character. And we made changes. Before, you could use your skill tree just whenever. And we're changing it, and you could, because you would level up during the game. And now we're letting you start yep. So we're changing it to where you set your build basically in your base, and you can respec in your base, but otherwise you don't have to worry about your skill tree in the middle of fighting. So what I want to do is pick some stuff here. Yeah, there's still some stuff that I'm doing, like within the actual like widget itself. Like I'm still doing, like I'm not doing it perfectly how I should, but if there's a lot of different widgets talking to each other, like the chat system needs to post a message to the screen, like that's all processed through the blueprint HUD, and then that tells like the actual widget to like create the message. It's kind of weird flow. It's hard to explain. But there's got to be like, here's how you do a HUD. I never had to do a tutorial because like 90% of this was like made by a UI developer. It can, yes, it definitely can. Now what you have to be really careful of in Unreal is creating circular blueprint references. So for example, if in your HUD you're getting the pawn's health class, and then in your pawn you're trying to change the HUD property, the pawn's trying to talk to the HUD while the HUD's trying to talk to the pawn, and your editor can get stuck and not open. So when you're doing game state and accessing pawn and HUD stuff together, make a lot of backup copies of your work, because you can get, if your editor ever gets stuck at 71 or 72% on a splash screen, that means that your UI has a circular reference. I do it all the time and have to like start over. So what I need to see is when I reconnect, what happens. Let's stay the same class. Okay. And what happens if I change classes? Also, if I buy, okay, reconnect, change classes, and it's a fresh start. Okay, cool. I think so. I mean, it's good if there's resources out there to teach best practice. It's probably it's for the best to just learn the flow the engine is designed to use, I guess. But if the game state thing gets too complicated, the nice thing about game state is it's kind of like a thing that persists during a match. Like while the game's running, game state is processing information, and the things in the game state are accessible at all times. It's kind of like the overarching authority over a game. And that's where things like, you know, current objective and what the game time is, what the score is, that kind of stuff all should live in like game state. It is no problem at all. I'm going to re-import those textures that I changed. It was this and this, I believe. And then the ite was head. Did I not do another normal map for the Yamai head? I could have swore that I did. Well, I'm gonna do it now. Character, ite new, ite textures. These are not the right place. Maybe it's, I hope it's not it. There's really no reason for it to be in here, but I guess it is. And then in the head Yumai. Yeah, it was using the head. That's stupid. Yep. There we go. And then what size is this? 1024 doesn't need to be that big. It's a head. Go down to 512 max and we should be good there. The new face is in. Well, all I really want to see is, I mean, any given, Unreal makes things so flexible that there's really about 10 ways to do anything. Like literally any possible thing you could do could be done and work, you know, 10 different ways. The problem is, you know, especially for a multiplayer game, which, you know, obviously this is, performance becomes a huge problem, and maybe 2 of the 10 ways actually perform well and the other 8 create performance problems. So it's kind of a pain. So let's see. He's still looking a little blue, but I guess it's okay for now. Not one of my objectives for tonight. Nice. So, by the way, I'll mention Groundbird. Every Wednesday night we do play test everything that we've been working on. If you pick up the game, it's currently on sale for like $3.50. I will give a key for friends to join in test nights as well, or just to have the game for whenever, for when it finishes, or just whatever you want to do with it. And our Discord is kind of the home hub of our community. Our player base is there, the dev team's there, events, updates, dev streams, all of that gets announced there. So if you like what you're seeing, feel free to join our community. I consider, stream viewers, fellow devs, players, all friends. We try to have a very kind of family-oriented community. I make a lot of effort to keep toxicity out of our community, which is really hard in gaming communities. I'm sure if the game grows to sustain itself, it will inevitably have, trolls and horrible entitled gamers, which is a problem that all games face that are multiplayer in nature, but we'll do our very best to have people treat each other well, which in this stage, we have an awesome community for playtest nights. I really love everybody that plays. I've gotten to know them all pretty well, and it's a lot of fun because of that. And they're really good players. Like you can get lit up in some of these matches. It really is. I mean, yes, it's not exclusive to gaming communities, especially this year in particular. So let's see. I need. So here's what I need to do. I need to import some animations. Let me find my folder. Yeah, the game is on Steam. It's actually not $6.99, it's $3.50 right now, but that subdomain steam.playhanako.com will take you to our store page. So I'm navigating to these new animations. Ah, damn it, accidentally opened. No, I don't want Maya to open right now. It's the last thing that I want to open. It takes forever. Nope, bye Maya. So these are some new hit reactions. I don't need to import mesh. It's using the Kenshi animation. I'm going to do exported time and import all. All right, so there's that. I basically can like just duplicate one of these like 4 times. Let me see what properties I even have in these. Ooh, default. That's why these look like crap. Let me fix this. The default blend times are way too small or too long. That's why they look bad. I'm just gonna do this to all the classes real quick. Because that's half a second of blend time, and it's literally a half a second animation, so it's always blending. That's probably why these have looked bad for forever. Let's see if the other classes have that problem. Oh, they do. Gonna fix that real quick. We're looking at right now, we're eyeing like February to May 2021 is what it's kind of looking like. What we've done is, yep, there is a playtest tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern we do a playtest, and it's always open to the public, and it's always on a public server. I'm pretty sure we'll just do that for the rest of times. Okay. Wow, I can't believe I left default blend times on these for like years. That's horrible, horrible mistake. It's basically just eating the whole animation to blend you like out of idle and back into idle without you letting you see the actual keyframes. No, the game's out. Like, I would say the servers are pretty empty. Ordinarily, there might be like, 1 to 5 people scattered across all the servers at any given time. But that's a surefire way to play with humans, guaranteed. However, we do have AI on every server, so like you can hop in a match and play the game. There might be people in it, there might not, but it's never completely empty. Please don't use... Okay, good, I already did the ninja, because his blends are pretty bad already. So, let me go back to the Kenshi. Let's see what's going on with his. It's just a default with a damage grant. Okay, I'm just going to duplicate this one of these a couple times and just make this easy on myself. Let's go ahead and do this one. Do Kenshi. Heavy hit react forward montage. Let me copy that. Duplicate forward left. Duplicate right. I usually stream Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday the playtest is streamed. But occasionally I'll take a night off. Like, there's certain things, like if I'm doing localization tables or like something really boring, sometimes I won't stream. And if like, it's just kind of like some weeks, like no one will chat the entire week, and I don't like streaming when no one chats. It's really boring. Like, it makes me more tired than if I didn't stream. And if I'm really super busy and need to get stuff done, sometimes it's just a distraction. But really, I appreciate meeting new people, and it's hard to market an indie game, especially a multiplayer one, and it's hard to get the word about the game out there. And honestly, like, this has been the best way. Just work on the game, be helpful, get to know you guys a little bit, tell you guys our story, and then hopefully you learn something or like what you see in the game enough to want to play, and then viewers become players, become friends, and it's I like that feedback loop for us. I think it's a really good one. So I have, did I do back? I did not do back. That is appreciated. Thanks a lot. So let's get that open and replace this with, which one is this? Heavy Oh, it's just heavy react like that. It's back. And then forward. This should be forward. Ooh, I had the wrong one. Okay, I forgot that Unreal does that. You have to select this. And it is hit react back. This is forward. Select that and heavy react. This is forward, that needs to be forward. This is left. And then there's a decent, you guys are watching on Twitch, and there's quite a lot of people watching on Facebook right now. Facebook chat, you guys are quiet tonight. Back in the day when the game started, I used to stream 7 days a week, and I'd work like 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. I was a nutcase. I could never do that anymore. I'd be so tired. Sometimes I'm still very tired. Okay, so now I need to make sure that these have root motion, which basically means you can translate you can move the root bone of your character skeleton, and it'll basically translate as input and actually like physically move the character. We use it it's really a pillar of our combat system. We use it in like our dash abilities and combos, and it's a way to like build movement, like translation into your animation. So if your guy leaps across the map and slashes a dude, that the actual like forward movement of that can be built into the root bone, and then Unreal can interpret that as actual like player movement on the input layer in a way. So those animations are set up. Okay, I duplicate them after the blend change. And I need to look at my architecture and this is the pawn class. I do have let me go to the parent class and see. I might not be able to do this tonight. It really depends what's in the event that's there. Oops. Let me find the event. It's somewhere in here. This is like, our pawn class is a monolith blueprint. It really shouldn't have this much stuff in it. Do play hit. Create damage numbers, play camera shake, blood splatter, and none of that is the hit reaction itself. But I do know what the damage causer was. I might be able to use that. So hit reaction array. So I have to be doing something in here. Hit reaction. So nothing's output. Play hit reaction montage. Okay, so that's replicate. Okay, here's the function that I need. Current hit angle. Doesn't actually. Can an array go into a select node? It can. So I think I need some programming assistance on this. I can think of a way to make it work, but I don't think it's the right way to do it, honestly. Play hit reaction. All right. Art, thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you in the test tomorrow. I didn't want to attempt to say your entire username, but have a great night. Hope to talk to you again. Groundbird, thanks also for hanging out. I hope that helps. Always, Unreal 4 has such good documentation. There's probably like documentation that leads to tutorials, so I think you should be able to find something with the Google foo. I have faith in you. Let me know how it goes the next time I'm on stream or like on Discord tomorrow or something. Holy crap, it's 1:20 already? Give me just a second. I haven't got up from my desk in like since I started streaming. So I don't know if I can prototype. I can't. I think I can prototype this, but it would be messy. I think I do want to get something working. Okay, current target. Oh, I do have a current target. I wonder, I'm just gonna try something really quick. I need to open up my test map. Have really simple, always have really simple test maps that you can just test like your core gameplay. Don't test it in your production maps, takes too long. Just have little gray boxes that have a bunch of different elements that you need to test on, and just do it that way. So I've already been caching this. I'm not actually even like using this information, I don't think. But I can use this info. So this is a pawn. Wait, what? So do play hit, pawn instigator is the target, and you do play hit. Is that backwards? So I got hit. This is who hit me. And then that's weird. I think this is backwards. Like this should be pawn instigator is who hit you. Current target. Ooh, I might actually be using this. Just in case, I don't want to like break this. I don't remember if this is being used or not. I'm not sure why I would be the current. I got hit, so that's very confusing to me. I wonder if I can do I'm going to call this last damage. Last damage actor. That's going to be damage causer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in steps. So I want to get the display name of the last damage actor, and I'm going to print this. And I'll have to implement this to bots too, but for now, just players is fine. Just want to see what kind of things pop up in this. So it's not even returning your weapon. It's okay, so that's your pawn class. That's surprising to me, actually. Well, what I'm gonna do is play hit reaction. This is gonna be is heavy reaction. And this is also gonna have a boolean called is heavy reaction. And I'm going to duplicate this. This is going to be called heavy hit reaction array. And for speed's sake, I'm just going to yeah, for the other classes, I'll probably just do that. So this is forward, right, left, 0 is back, forward, right, and left. And this will be basically select so it'll just pick a different variable. I love select nodes, they're great. Since it's the direction is the same, it just needs to know, it's just a boolean, is it heavy or not? And if I can't get this done, I'll probably just set heavy to always true on the Kenshi, or just set his normal hit reaction to use these animations. So back to the parent class, I need a way so I have an idea. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delay a frame just because I don't want this to fight. I want the last damage actor to be set, or to have a better chance of being set, I guess. So then I have last damage actor, and I'm going to make a function should, oops, that's an event graph. I don't want to do that. Should be heavy hit reaction. It's going to have an actor input. Last damage actor. And this is going to be Castu Hanago character. And can I do get last one? Get current montage. Let me try this. And then this is going to output a Boolean that's should be heavy. And for now, the answer is going to be nope. Actually, let's make the default yes, just so I can test the new animations. So I'm going to do this. It's the Boolean that I set up before. Last damage actor, and I actually need to do, well, if this cast fails, then it should just be, so what I could do is I could do a string search on the display name for like ability or the word heavy or medium in the string, and then I could kind of like do a string search on the current animation to figure out if you're being hit by, actually, that reminds me. Under play hit. Last damage actor. Do abilities even register for this? Okay, so it does register that. Okay, so that works. It does get the it does not register. I guess if it equals a light. I think I thought of a really easy way to do this. I also think I missed root motion on some of these. I didn't. That's weird. So this should actually be pretty easy now. So back in my should do blah 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 function, that's fine. So if it contains light at all anywhere in there, finds the starting index of a substring in a specified string. So if it does find light, it shouldn't be heavy. If it's anything else, which would be an ability or medium or whatever, that. And then same thing for this. This was actually a little bit, this isn't the best way to do it, but it technically works. Or should work. So back in do hit reaction. Just for testing purposes, I'm gonna do just a test. So I'm gonna add 2 kenshis. Wow, this got all kinds of screwed up. Nice. Oh, hold on. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Ooh, what just happened? No, I clicked a frame too early. I hate that so much. Let Unreal initialize. Give it like 5 seconds. Okay, so just in case, I need to do some validity checks because access nuns happen all the time and they cause crashes. So what I'm going to do is just do is valid because it might not be. And if it's not, then it's just going to return. And then this also needs is valid. Okay. So now this is a little bit cleaner. It's verifying that your animation is valid and that your character, the last character that hit you, is valid. So it's a little crash prevention, more or less. it seems to be working. There's something weird with some of the animations. I need to double check the setup. It looks like root motion's not working on some of them. Like it definitely has it. That's that. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like this one just doesn't have root motion correct. Okay, now I just need to make sure that the other classes these guys don't have hit reactions yet, so I'm just gonna set the regular array to the same thing. It's the easiest way to handle this. All right, so right, to the project management. So let me get this set up for bug fixing. I don't know if I'm going to get to this tonight, but I at least want to get close. Round time, I'm just going to make 5 seconds. I'm just going to pick Yamai Kenshi and Yamai Kenshi. Okay. Okay, so that time I got a red helmet. Is it because I was dead? So that leads me to believe. That's why I need to get it from player state. Okay. Nope, still didn't work. Oh, it's in the derp. It's not even the loadout, though. That should help that be a little more consistent anyway. It's this. It's the character paper doll. I'm not even looking at the right thing. Yep, that's why. I bet this will fix it. Oops. If it fails, it's just going to keep going. But this should help it work better. So player state persists even if the pawn doesn't. Really, the loadout should probably get stored in there too, so it's not on the pawn, but I can cross that bridge later. That wouldn't be that hard of a refactor. So let me make sure this works first. Yep. Oh, except my A000. Oh, I didn't even pick. That's strange. So that's kind of weird. Nope, still didn't work. Well, I'm going to call it a night. Just a reminder that tonight, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, we have our event. Our Discord is discord.gg/playhanukkah. We'll be playtesting tonight. If not, see you guys next time. It'll also be streamed.